Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
LUS is committed to our customers, from providing and maintaining energy-efficient utility services to friendly, helpful customer service. LUS is there. At LUS, we're always challenging everything we know, every day. We strive to improve efficiency and reliability while focusing on our responsibility to our customers and the community. It's our promise to provide dependable service to our customers every time. Because we don't just work in Lawrence County, we live here too.
Make your lawn a legacy. At Legacy Lawn and Landscapes, we put more than 16 years of experience into your goals. We won't meet your expectations, we'll exceed them. We offer consultation, installation, maintenance, hardscapes, construction, and land clearing services. Owner John and Jamie Brewer with their team are dedicated to providing the highest quality landscape services to commercial and residential clients in Middle Tennessee. Service, teamwork, results. That's how you leave a legacy.
Are you looking for a non-factory job environment? Livingstone Freight Solutions is a 3PL company that began managing warehouses in Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. With our multiple shifts and experienced management team, our goal is to give you, as an employee, a safe family work environment and competitive wages. We offer a wide variety of employment opportunities from forklift drivers to management level positions. We also strive to offer a competitive benefit package and PTO options. For more information or to apply, visit us at livingstonefs.com or give us a call at 931-269-3255.
Being raised in Tennessee, we believe in the importance of family and community. Creating a positive experience at our family-owned and operated business is one of the ways we share that belief.
Being in an accident can be extremely stressful. When it came time for my repairs, Mashburn's made it easy.
I am lucky to have a wonderful company in my community like Mashburn's Collision Center. It's reassuring to know that I'm in good hands because their work is second to none.
We pride ourselves that the Mashburn name is one of the most trusted in Lawrence County since 1981. Mashburn's Collision Center. Let our family take care of yours.
Shop McMaster's Home Gallery for furniture, appliances, and more. And shop quality, shop convenience, shop service, shop local. A family-owned business with a long history of serving the region. We're a one-stop home furnishings destination. We feature brands you know, competitively priced, backed by professional installation and service. You can trust that we'll take good care of you before and after the sale. For your home, shop smart. Shop McMaster's Home Gallery today.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome everybody here to X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. AJ Good, joined by Michael Marks. My son is in the background. He's watching Monster Jam. We're not going to be showing it or hearing it for fear of getting a copyright infringement. But he's not feeling good. Just had to pick him up from school. But hey, he's got monster trucks. He is living his best life.
I miss those days.
Dude, I still love monster trucks. I wouldn't go by myself to watch them. I would go with a group of people, which is funny. Kind of quick story before a little off track. When me and him went to Atlanta Motor Speedway's Monster Jam a couple weeks ago, like a group of guys around your age, Mike, all went together to the show. And they tailgated before. They waited until all the traffic left, and they tailgated afterwards. I was like, and that's actually pretty cool.
I kind of like that. I mean, you can still make fun out of going to Monster Jam. So I'd say I would say it wasn't my thing after the first couple of years, but I definitely still enjoy it every now and then.
I still love it, man. This stuff is awesome. You go and you see it in person, you're just like, man, why did I ever get out of this? I get it, it's more entertainment, but then again, we still like wrestling.
Yeah, I was about to say same thing with me in wrestling. I just watched it again. I was like, why did I stop again?
Yeah, exactly. We had it good when we had it good, Mike. But
yes.
Let's get into the big things going on this week with district play. Lawrence County took on Marshall County yesterday. Took care of business. Did what they had to do. Got a win there against the Tigers, and with the, I believe Tullahoma did beat Franklin County, so now they are officially going to be hosting the district tournament next week. And 4-1 win, played Marshall County's best pitcher. Logan Mays was back to form last night, and I think all is right in the world with the Wildcats. Wildcats looking to
start last Monday against Franklin County, so to get back on track, your last week of the regular season is definitely a huge key, and the offense did what they needed to do. Like you mentioned, Henderson's a really good pitcher for Marshall County, so to be able to put up those 4 runs on him early in the game definitely had to feel good for that Lawrence County offense.
First time he hadn't made it to 100 pitches all year long. They haven't been able, Marshall County hasn't been able to play a lot of games because of some damage that was done to their ballpark earlier in the year, but they took advantage. There's just something about this team facing other teams' aces and knocking them around a little bit. But the guy that they brought in afterwards kind of shut them down most of the game. But it's just something about these guys. They go out there, they throw hard, and Lawrence County just finds a way to beat them. It's actually pretty impressive to watch.
And see, that's what I find so funny about high school baseball is the fact that, in the big leagues, in college, it's all about get the starter out. In high school, I mean, honestly, you want to stick with that starter because I've seen a lot of teams really struggle against some teams' bullpen. Again, good performances from both Lawrence County and Marshall County's bullpens. It sets up for a fun game, too, tonight.
Yeah, going for the sweep. They don't need to sweep them. I think they would like to sweep them, but it's kind of been what they've done all year long, Mike, which is, okay, they're going to have one close game and then a blowout the next game, or a blowout the start, a close game the next. I'm sure they've had a lot of drama in some of these games. 2 one-run games against Franklin County last week. Not too much drama against Summertown. They went down early, came back, and Case Chapman shut the door. Case got the save last night, and then not a dramatic one again at Loretta, but then a dramatic one at home on Saturday. But hey, it just tells you this team knows how to win and is finding ways to win. It can't always be blowouts, can't always be one-run games. They've won in so a myriad of ways, a myriad of scores all year long.
Yeah, you go back to last Monday, that first game against Franklin County, to last night. I mean, they've played, what is that now, 6 games in like an 8-day span, something like that. It's crazy. And almost every single one of those games has been different, and they've been able to win them in different ways. Almost had the comeback against Franklin County. Yeah. You do have the big win against Loretto on Saturday. Yeah. I mean, you've been, like you mentioned, been able to win a multitude of ways, and that shows how dangerous a team can be down the stretch.
Yeah. And getting some good hits. I'm barreling up some balls at bottom of the order, was able to do some damage. Jasper Kilburn got some things got the initial rally going. And man, if the bases are loaded and Hub Max comes to play, just walk him. Just take the run.
Just take the run.
He's going to find a way to get a 2-run single. Just limit the damage, take the run, and go and try your chances with someone else, because he delivered again last night. But big kind of news development in your world. We're finding out more about the district tournament, Mike. That everything's going to be at home sites. It's not going to be one central location, which makes what Summertown did last night against Forest really, really big, and a sweep for them tonight. How much bigger that's going to be?
Yeah,
Summertown looking.
Forest, and it was kind of unexpected. I didn't expect to see that many runs in the game, but again, Summertown got down early. Forest put up a 4 spot in the first, but were able to come back late in the game, and it's the names you would expect. I mean, Aiden Perez, 2 hits, Case and Blackwood with 3 hits. I mean, you had 7 of the 9 in the lineup get a hit. The offense was where it needed to be. Jackson Bennett, maybe not his most impressive performance run-wise, but was able to shut down Forest's offense as he got going in the game, and a really big win for Summertown at home.
Yeah, and they go down 4-1, then they tie it up, then they go down again 5-4, and then they turn it on there in the 5th and got some good offense. Again, like it's the Case and Blackwoods, it's the Aiden Perez's of the world. It's those guys. Cecil Williams had a couple big hits last night, and he's fast as a lightning.
Yeah,
bug.
Man.
That guy can absolutely fly. And again, they go to Forest tonight. I think if they sweep, that puts them, I think from what Will was telling us, they sweep, they'll host Cascade. If they lose tonight, they go to Cascade. But again, the 5-4 game in your all side, which I believe would be
Forest. It's looking like Forest and Community right now.
Forest and Community right now. So Loretto would get the winner of that, and Loretto's been on fire as of late as well. But man, things are really kind of starting in a lot of ways to take shape, and it makes a big difference now knowing how that district is set up. It's not one central location. It's okay. Well, whoever's the highest seed gets the host, and that sets up really well for Loretto in Summertown.
Yeah, again, right now the only two teams with 2 losses in the district, but again, that game tonight against Forest is going to be very big. Cascade's playing Community. We're able to pick up a win last night for Cascade, but it's going to be very important for Summertown to pick up a win tonight. Just go ahead and secure a top 2 spot in the district and at least be able to host that first round game.
And then, and when you look at it, they're the 1, the 2 seed. We still don't.
Yes. Really none of us have to leave our backyard at that point. So it really works out well for us. And it's not going to be an easy matchup. Whoever it is, Cascade, Forest, Community, they're all 3 really talented teams. I mean, Forest and Cascade are inside the top 8 in the state, so it's going to be really tough. Yeah, I would say the top 4 in this district are all in the top 10 in the state. It makes it incredibly difficult. The 1-4 game, I mean, is going to be as tough as any game you've seen all year.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's all about momentum at this point. I think Summertown has a ton of momentum. I think Forest is kind of dropping off a bit. Cascade's kind of just been riding pretty steady the whole year long, and Loretto is just. They're just hitting everything out of the freaking park, including last night playing law ball, a couple home runs, account for 4 of your 6 runs last night. Loretto.
Russell Scholes was able to get a run in the top half of the first off of a kid that reached on an error, and then you see it in the bottom of the second. Mason Tidwell, the 3-run shot. I mean, I didn't realize it until they were walking around.
How many home runs does that make for him now?
I think 4 or 5 on the season.
It's gotta be
but
5,
but I know he has 3 that are 3-run home runs, and I didn't realize it until they were walking around the bases, and I was like, well, there was 2 on for him, so you kind of expected that one. But then you get in the later going of the game. Muscle Shoals really had struggled with their bats, but the Mustangs' offense had slowed down as well. But Braden Bennett, a long ball of his own, I believe his first of the year, sent it out to left field, and there wasn't much wind last night, so the guys really showing the muscles. But honestly, it's hard to talk about last night without talking about Case and Springer. Monday guy, 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 14 strikeouts. I mean,
7-8 team they're going up against.
Yeah, and I'm about to say, and Muscle Shoals is no slouch out of Alabama either. I mean, you got the guy who's the field is named after at Loretto, bringing the team in there. It was good to be able to pick up a big win right there for the Mustangs.
Shout out to Gary, good guy.
Yes,
we love him. Every time I've been around him, he's been nothing but gracious and nice. And he built that program and built it up pretty well. And he's trying to do the same over there at Muscle Shoals.
And it was
pretty good over there.
And it was really nice last night getting to dedicate the home dugout for Toby Dunn. And it was good that we got to have Coach Lamb up there for that, because obviously spent many years coaching with each other. So it was good that the Mustangs got to do that last night and show some appreciation for a guy that meant not only a lot to the school and the baseball program, but Loretto as a whole.
Yeah, and good thing that they did there, and it's absolutely deserved. And, again, just one of those lives lost too early. Major impact over there.
Yes.
It was great to you. He was always great to me and great to everybody. It's you hate to see his life lost like that, but hey, at least they're finding the right ways to dedicate some things and honor him the right way. Switching over, high school softball, Lady Cats just continue their big wins. Got a lot of runs last night against Loretto. Lady Cats going for the regular.
It stayed that way. A 7-run spot in the first inning, and I mean, you can just look at down the box score. Lily Lloyd with 3 hits, Callie Brown with 3 hits, Tevye Statham getting 2 hits. But it was good to see the seniors, both Tevye and Hadley Patterson, that both have very good games on their senior night. Multiple hits. Elizabeth Hagan had a good day on the mound, so it was really good to see that offense get going.
Yeah, and they're going into their district tournament. It's going to be a little bit later than ours. They still got a couple more games going next week, but I mean, this team it's almost like the form that they started to get into about this time a year ago. They've just kind of already just kicked it in the gear, and things are already starting to work out for them. And like, okay, well, they get those to district tournament. Everything's going to be right there in their backyard, and this team is rolling. They're
Yeah.
finding ways. They got a good win against Franklin County the other night. A little bit more dramatic. Again, the Cardiac Cats came out.
They can't have a district game that's not one run.
Yeah, and but hey, you get it in your own ballpark where I mean, crazy things happen in that place.
No kidding. But yeah, really good win for the Wildcats. That's now 3 wins in a row, 18-11 on the season. I mean, it like you mentioned, they just seem to get into that late season form. Because you look at their last 3 losses. To find their 4th loss, you have to go back to March 27th. It's been a while, so they've
almost a month.
Yeah, it's crazy. They've been really playing good here in April, and that's when you want to start playing your best ball heading into May.
Yeah, exactly, and our highlights are still rolling here on on this part of it. And, Loretta's got a chance to bounce back against Cascade. I think they're in that 4-5 spot in their district tournament coming up. They're in the same boat, and it's all higher seeds for baseball and softball. So they'll have to go on the road, but I'm sure first-year coach Haley Pear would like to at least get one district win under her belt.
Well, and to be able to take one from Cascade, that's going to be your last couple of district matchups. If you're able to get a couple of wins against them, you get to host that first round play-in game, and then you just got to keep winning from there. It's obviously it's been a tough regular season, but it's all about finding some hot bats there at the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, and this time of year is just crazy because it just it doesn't feel like it should be over,
but it's getting there.
It's getting there. It's absolutely getting there. Well, Mike, we still got some college baseball going down tonight. Tennessee's got Lipscomb, I believe.
Yes.
I haven't looked up any projections. I'm looking them up right now. I don't think I should put the baseball tournament, not just the NCAA tournament. That would help. Trying to.
I would say I saw one that had Tennessee in the Los Angeles regional with USC. That would be a heck of a trip. I know they try to keep some of those regionals local, but that is going to be far from it if they have to make that long drive. I would like to see them somewhere in the Atlanta or somewhere in the Alabama, the Carolinas, somewhere like that to keep them relatively close to home. But you look at the ACC. I mean, it's very likely, or the SEC, very likely they end up in one of those ballparks.
Do you think this past week hurt them in a ways?
I don't know. It definitely didn't help them any because, I mean, both Friday was a close game. Saturday was a bit more of a dominating loss, but you were able to come back and make it look good on Sunday. They're just going to have to start winning some series, and that's the thing. Winning a series 2-1 looks a whole lot better than losing that series in the same fashion. So I think it's going to come down to winning some of these series at the end of the year. And you got some rivals to do it against. You got Alabama and Kentucky the next 2 weeks, and then Texas and Oklahoma to close out the regular season.
Yeah. So you got win the midweeks, dominate in the midweeks, and they got to start taking some more series.
Yes.
The Mississippi State one was big, but you
got to build off of it.
And
that's what hurt. It was you got that such a good series win over Mississippi State. Try to carry that the next week at home against another team from Mississippi that wasn't seen as good as Mississippi State, and they came into Lindsey Nelson and dominated.
Right, exactly. Mike, believe it or not, the NFL draft is just a few days.
I know it's crazy.
The road here, it's nuts. It's in Pittsburgh, so God bless anyone that goes to the Pittsburgh for all of that. But
I'd say we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, it's. For those who have been to Pittsburgh know what I'm talking about. For those who have never been to Pittsburgh, basically you go through this tunnel and it's where 3 rivers combine there. So every downtown, all the businesses are to the right of the river.
Yes.
All the ballparks, stadiums, and arenas are to the left. And the exit you take to go to the left is the first one right out of the tunnel. And it's like, oh, wow, this is great. Oh, crap, I got to get over.
Yeah.
And you got to do it try to do it at 80 miles an hour. It's not what I would consider fun. Some people consider it fun. They're pretty crazy, if you ask me. But so as of I was trying to find some mock drafts, and they are just.
I think. Yeah, that was the one that I had that just had the player ratings. It's right now. I mean, it's still Mendoza mocked 1-1 to Vegas.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, I really liked Fernando and I really liked Indiana this past year, but I just got a feeling that Fernando Mendoza is going to get a GM fired. and really? I don't know why. I don't know what gives me that feeling, but it doesn't seem like he's got that killer mindset that you would like to see from a quarterback. Yeah. But I could be totally wrong, and he could have an all-time career with the Raiders. But it's been tough going for quarterbacks there. I mean, I can't in my lifetime I can't think of one that's been productive in back-to-back years other than Derek Carr.
And he was really productive last year against Indiana, but I never watched him like in all the games. Now he made some big time throws like those Penn State drives were incredible, but I never watched him at all and went, man, that's going to be the first overall pick.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. He just and nothing against him. He had an incredible year, won the Heisman, but he just doesn't have that number one pick feel about him, and it could just be personality wise, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the number one pick, but again, if you're the Raiders, you need a quarterback. Who's next up if you're not taking
Simpson, which started off great and then just completely faded. After the fact, and at least Mendoza was very consistent and very steady and was doing big things on throughout the year, even though he didn't do as many against the better opponents. But the thing that scares me about Ty is, man, got off to a great start, but then just really, really, really faded at the worst possible times and looked his worst when his team needed him to be at his best.
Yeah, and right now Ty Simpson mocked at a second-round pick to the Cardinals. Another terrible situation for a quarterback to be thrown in. But this is not a good quarterback draft, and as is the case every year, there's a lot of teams that need a quarterback.
Yeah. Right now they have the Titans taking David Bailey as a edge rusher out of Texas Tech. They kind of, from what I'm seeing, it's between him and Arvell Reese, but the consensus is that Reese, who has the quote-unquote the bigger upside than Bailey, but Bailey's more polished than Reese. And a lot, especially when it comes to defensive ends, people love to take the guy with the upside. But even though it does not really always work out that way.
And I would say, and for the Titans would be the team to luck out and find the one that doesn't work out that way. I have been hearing, and this is just local news talking, but heard some rumbles of maybe the Titans looking to trade back. Okay. I think it's the Chiefs that have two first round picks that they maybe would look to trade back for, and maybe go for a guy like Notre Dame's Jeremiah Love. They were really high on him. They need a new premier back, and honestly,
drafting running backs in the first round.
It's a very
that is a boom or bust, can set your franchise back if you don't get it right.
Yeah, I mean, because Ricky Williams, first guy I think of when it comes to
he did get good.
Yes,
eventually,
but it looked terrible off the rip.
Was he worth trading your entire draft capital for?
Maybe not. Yeah. No. So I would like to see the Titans go for a guy like a David Bailey or an Arvell Reese, or even a guy like Sonny Styles, another Ohio State guy. It's a ton of talent right there. The defense needs help, and with a guy like Robert Saleh now at the helm, you want to prioritize defense. You go for one of these guys because I mean you look inside the top 10 in the NFL draft. All these defensive guys, I mean they're there for a reason. Yeah. This defensive draft class is legit.
Yeah, it's really legit, and it's coming at a good time where the offenses are booming. They're getting better and better. The quarterbacks are getting more polished. The game is opening up more and more wide open as it can get. You need good defensive guys, and I'm glad for all these teams. It's like, okay, this is where the shift and balance is. It's going to be a defense-heavy draft.
Well, it's funny. I'm sitting here looking at all the first-round projections, and you got a quarterback here, a running back here, a couple of receivers, but it's safeties, it's defensive backs, it's offensive linemen, a lot of those guys. Yeah. So I think this is a very good – it may not be top to bottom, the most stacked draft class, but this is one where you can really load up your team for the next couple of years.
Yeah. Speaking of Vol fans, there's a couple Tennessee guys. It looks like they got Jermon McCoy going 15th. To the Buccaneers, and I'm scrolling down to find the other one. Don't want to go too far. And then you got Colton Hood going to be taken by pick 29 by Kansas City. So a couple could have a couple Vols there in the first round.
Yeah, and there's even some rumbles of Joshua Josephs maybe even making it to a early second round pick. I mean, it just makes you think, what if for this year? Obviously Colton Hood had the excellent year. If Jermon McCoy was able to come back, what could he have proven? But it's good to see consistently a bunch of Tennessee guys in the first round of the NFL draft, and them being defensive guys. It's been a lot of defensive guys recently for Tennessee, and they get the mantra as the offensive team, but they've been able to produce some good edge rushers, some good defensive backs, and it's finally good to see some of that work paying off.
I'm seeing Joseph's going third round to Jacksonville, which that's not a bad place to go there. And then again, the big quarterback talk has been, what do we do with Diego Pavia?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, don't waste your money on a draft pick. Don't waste a draft pick. Go get what you need. And if he's there and you want to bring him in, then maybe try him out of the camp, then knock yourself out.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. Obviously, he's been a big bet on himself kind of guy. I mean, I was listening to an interview with John Gruden where he said that after they beat Auburn, he went up to Hugh Freeze and said, come get me. So, he's a big bet on himself type of guy, but his size that has always been a concern is still going to be a concern. He's not getting any taller in the next couple of days. And that's going to scare a lot of NFL teams away because you look at Fernando Mendoza. He's big, 6'5", 230-pound kind of guy. And even Ty Simpson, a good, well-built, he's not in that 5'11" to 6 foot range that can get, a lot of quarterbacks in trouble. But look at Drew Brees. Was one of the smaller guys in his era and had a great career, so it definitely doesn't scare you away. But a name that I'm really curious to look at quarterback-wise is Taylon Green from Arkansas.
He's getting a lot of hype.
He is.
Because of his physical gifts.
Yes, I would say, because he's in that Joe Milton, Anthony Richardson. He's 6'6", 245, runs like a deer, and has a cannon for an arm. Yeah. He wants to stay at the quarterback position. Obviously, the teams are going to try to change that up. You saw it with the Cunningham kid out of Louisville a couple years ago. But if somebody can take a chance on this guy and he pans out as a quarterback, you could have maybe not the next Michael Vick. He's a little bit bigger than Vick, but similar to a Cam Newton type of build. And people forget, he led the Panthers to 15-1 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, that's definitely not a slouch of a guy to go after.
Sure, not bad. His arm is the big issue. It's not his legs, but you're not going to be able. They've said it for years, and it's true. You can't always rely on your legs at the NFL level. You got at some point to use your arm.
And you see that young guys get in trouble that way a lot in the NFL because in college and high school they've been bigger, they've been faster than everybody else. When you get to the NFL, everyone's a pro. Those defensive linemen running 4.5s, 4.6s. Some guys in the 4.4 range now. So you have to rely on a lot of the mental thing. You got to have a good arm. It's nice to have good legs because they can help you out, but it's a lot of the mental game in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. But I'm interested to see who takes a chance on him because, and I've said this before, and it's 100% true because everyone, it's not just me, everyone says it. It's the NFL is 90% fit, 10% talent.
Yes.
And all of it is just about finding the right team. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So you can throw Joe Montana, but if Peyton Manning doesn't start in Indianapolis,
what happens?
What happens? If Tom Brady doesn't go to the Patriots, what happens? If Joe Montana doesn't start off with the 49ers, what happens?
Exactly.
It's 90% fit, 10% everything else. So there's who knows how many of these really guys who have been drafted and turned out to be bust have just been. How much is it the person or just the bad fit?
Look at the team that won the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
terrible fit in New York.
Yeah.
Every quarterback's a terrible fit in New York, but
he's a backup in San Francisco. He rebounds in Minnesota. Then
he wins a Super Bowl. That's an incredible story. So I think you are right. 90% fit, 10% talent, because Sam Darnold had the talent and it didn't get him anywhere until this year, really. And what a way for that to pay off.
It's NBA playoffs extended last night. I watched the whole second half between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Great comeback by the Nuggets.
Yes.
They were down 19 in that game in the first half, stormed back. They evened up the series. That was the one series I'm like, man, those teams, that doesn't feel like a 3-6 series. Those teams are just too even. I think the Spurs and the Thunder go tomorrow night. Lakers, Rockets, Spurs, Trailblazers tonight. On the East, Cavaliers dominated Toronto again. They go up 2-0 in that series. The Hawks come from behind to take the win against the Knicks, and that one certainly. So we had two comebacks in the 3-6 series. Are going to be the ones that everyone's going to be watching on both sides.
Well,
here.
I feel like the Hawks and the Knicks always end up matching up with each other in the playoffs, and they always put on a good series, whether who wins it or not. But it has to be a mental thing between Cleveland and Toronto. LeBron's gone, and they still can't handle it. So, but listen, Donovan Mitchell has been awesome. Didn't have he wasn't great last night. 13 of 23 from the field, but I mean, James Harden, awesome. Evan Mobley was awesome. This Cavaliers team has been one of the really sneaky ones this year because they come in, they have James Harden. Mm-hmm. They're at the 4 seed right now. I'm not surprised they can't make it to the conference finals. It would not shock me one bit.
No, Donovan Mitchell on that bunch. They've got they've got some guys that can absolutely play. It's a good team. NHL wise, the Stars and the Wild got things evened up last night. Carolina, we'll get in that after this. I don't know if you saw that controversial finish, but Philly dominates Pittsburgh again, so they're up 2-0. That team is stinking hot right now.
I was about to say, if there's anybody in the playoffs that looks, I don't know if there's anybody that looks as good as the Flyers right now.
And then Carolina, after a lot of controversy, does end up winning against double overtime. So this is going to get really confusing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try my best as a hockey fan to explain this. So, wow. Good air there, right, buddy? Zombie going hot? Yeah. Yeah. So they're in overtime, and a guy gets a breakaway, and he gets hooked. Mm-hmm. The official puts his hand up, so he's signaling it's going to be a penalty. And by the way, going to be a penalty shot. Yep. So they bring the goalie for per custom, because the Senators can't get the puck and go down the score the moment they touch it. Instead, the power play comes out. So the goalie goes to the bench. They get the extra attacker out 6-on-5. Mm-hmm. Well, they score off the extra attacker. So they go the Senators, because the game is over, wisely. And even if you don't get your review right, it doesn't hurt you. But in a real game, if it's a regulation game, or if you're in like the second or third period, you get a challenge. You challenge something, you don't get it right, then you get a delay of game penalty. Okay. So that's how hockey works. So it means a little bit more in hockey than challenges in any other sport. So they challenge it just because, and it turns out the Hurricanes were offsides. Even though if you actually watch it, that wouldn't be. It's very ticky-tack. It's very, you can go.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, it could go either way.
So they were saying they were saying that he was the one, or he was offside.
Stahl at the bottom was offsides, which is.
Is it when you receive the puck, or is it when it is?
The guy with the puck, or the puck, has to cross the blue line first, and that is
that's very close there.
That's very close. Most people, it has to be definitive evidence. Mm-hmm. I don't know, and you.
But say the whole inconclusive video evidence is very is very subjective.
But that's not the controversial part. So they don't get the goal; they wave it off.
Yes.
However, he still gets the penalty shot.
Oh.
He takes the penalty shot, doesn't get it. So, because he didn't get the penalty shot,
you go to double overtime.
You get you get the penalty.
Yes.
So they have to play the penalty out, and there's a lot of debate as to whether or not they're like, okay, well, if he was offsides when he broke in, because it happened during the break-in. Mm-hmm. Because he was offsides, that should wave off
the penalty.
That should wave off the penalty. That should wave off the penalty shot, because it waved off the goal.
The goal.
So his entry. See what I'm saying?
Okay, I can see how that could. Yeah, it's like why is there?
It should have been a penalty.
Yes,
because it should have been blown dead because he was offside.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah, I can see that, and it's two very touch and go things. Yeah, and I'm one of these on the outside looking in. Man, I kind of feel bad for the officials in this situation, because it's almost impossible to get that right.
Yeah, but it all worked out in the end. The Hurricanes did win in double overtime, so they take a 2-0 series lead, and it looks like everybody else is back in action tonight. I'm really excited to see if the Sabres can continue. They're the team because it took them 14 years to get back to the playoffs. I'm really rooting for them pretty big. I hate Tampa.
Well, I mean, it felt like they won it every year for about 5 years there in the late 2010s, early 2020s. So. Yeah. I'm a big fan of seeing somebody new, so I'm kind of with you on the Sabres. I like to see a team that hadn't made the playoffs in a while try to make a run, because that's a mental block that can be put on a whole franchise. I mean, look at the Bills today. Mm-hmm. They're still feeling that stuff from the mid '90s today, and there's nobody obviously, probably even in the organization from then that is still around now. So,
have you ever been to Buffalo?
No,
before?
I haven't been north of Chicago.
I'm trying to explain what Buffalo is like. I've been there on a couple of occasions. They're just kind of driving through after visiting somewhere, and then when West Virginia went to the Final Four, their first stop was in Buffalo.
Buffalo,
So I've been in Buffalo a lot. It's almost like Buffalo is like taking Huntsville, and putting two major league franchises in Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe the best way to describe it. So it's kind of smaller, way colder up there. But it's basically like putting NFL and the NHL in Huntsville. Again, nothing. I love Huntsville.
Well, I would say hockey in Huntsville is good. Yeah.
But it's. I'm trying to say it's small. It's smaller. So you take one of these medium to lower size markets and put two big franchises in it.
It feels a little strange, but I will say that what I do know about the Buffalo is they love their teams. The Sabres and the Bills have a great fan base when they're good. So I'm excited to see. That's definitely been the game I'm watching tonight.
And they're really crazy too. Which
they jump through tables.
Yeah, in all the right ways. They're really really crazy up there. The Mets will be back in action. We'll see if they can continue.
I would say
they're in Minnesota. Another home. That's right. They got a 9-game homestand starting with Minnesota, who's 11-11. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
They got 11-game losing streak.
And they're playing the Twins, who are
coming in there.
I would say, and the Twins have got off to a rather good start. All things considered, it was a rough year last year, but. They, early in the season, the guys are all healthy right now. Josh Bell, Byron Buxton, two guys that usually don't make it too far into June or July. So Twins are one of those teams that always gets off to a hot start, and it feels like the Mets they're either at the top of the division at this point or at the bottom. And right now, it is unfortunately the latter.
Braves 16-7, Mike. They have the highest run differential of anyone in the league. They've won 6 in a row. Them and the Cubs have each won 6 in a row, and their run differential right now is plus 62.
And that's through 23 games. I mean, that's almost an average of a 3-run win.
Yeah, they beat the Nationals last night 9-4, and I'm looking at all these scores. 9-4, 9-0, 6-3, 6-5. Oh, that's a loss. 13-1, 11-5, 8-2, 7-2, 17-2. They're just.
And it's their pitching that has been so good. If you look at the team that has given up the next most run or the next least runs, it's the Dodgers at 76. The Braves right now are still under 70. That is incredible. And their pitching was what put them in such a bad spot last year. And you thought it may cause some problems this year, but it's worked well through the month of April.
8-2 in their last 10. Them and the Cubs have the best rate. Well, the Cubs and Detroit, the Tigers have
they've really found some things out.
They've won 8 of their last 10. So those three kind of really starting to figure a lot of things out. Reds have won 7 of their last 10, along with the Dodgers, but then it's the Dodgers.
It's the Dodgers. Yeah, I would say when I look at like weird things in baseball, I kind of just take the NL West out of it because it's the Dodgers. They're going to be there.
Tony Vitello and the Giants visited Cincinnati last week. Chase Burns, former ball. He's on my fantasy team. Shout out. He's been doing really good. I wouldn't have drafted him if I would have known. I know who he is, but I just saw his projected numbers look really good. I hate that he plays for the Reds. But, I've got some money to win here, so I've got to do this. And he's been tearing it up for them. And they asked him afterwards about Vitello. He said, I don't talk to him.
Wow. And I could imagine that was probably a pretty rocky relationship there towards the end of his Tennessee days, because it was one of those young pitchers that if he got hit once, they were going to hit him twice and hit him 3 times, and it was just going to be a waterfall until you either took him out or.
And then he went to the bullpen and got.
Really good. Yeah, I would say he turned his velo up a little bit because he was a high velo guy coming out of high school, but obviously you're not going to come a starter throwing 100. Came out of the bullpen, was electric, and then knew that he wanted to be a starter and knew that he's probably not going to get another shot at Tennessee because that was the second straight year he had been moved to the bullpen, and went to Wake Forest, and they did a great job with him. He was a top 5 pick in the draft, and look what he's doing already in Cincinnati.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike, quickly, we'll get into last night's Monday Night Raw, which I watched it, and I watched some more of it and went through all the clips. And the only thing that really kind of sticks out in my mind, Mike, is where are you going to fit all these people?
Yeah.
SmackDown needs some of these guys.
They're the 3-hour show. It feels like they should have the bulk of the competition. Was not expecting Fatu to be the first guy to go after Roman.
I did not. I thought okay, he's going to go after Cody on SmackDown. Well, now it looks like it's Punk and Cody.
Yeah.
So but Cody's there with one hell of a shot.
Oh my goodness!
Like that was real. He really got punt kicked.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, oh my gosh, look at his eye, because that thing looked terrible. But obviously, if you're going to be the winner, walk out with the shiner. Wasn't a terrible episode. It was your Raw after Mania. It was let's get a bunch of new NXT people in here. Ethan Page, Sol Ruka made their debut. Sol Ruka had a great debut. What is going on with that Intercontinental? It's like they put these 6 guys in a match, and now they're making a story out of it.
Yeah.
Because Javon said he's going after it, but then Rusev and JD McDonald. Well, I don't think JD was out there, but Rusev comes out there. Ethan Page is now getting involved in it. It seems like there's a lot of stories that need to be told and not enough time before Backlash.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole time I kept, and then I saw LA Knight with there. I'm like, no more Gunther.
Yeah.
Like at least because if you put him in a match with the Gunther, the first thing I'm thinking is, he's going to lose.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, guys, like try something.
I would say,
here.
yeah. It felt like maybe he was getting a little I thought maybe he was getting a little momentum because he got to pin at WrestleMania, which is huge. He wasn't the guy being pinned because that's kind of where I saw him ending up, honestly. But he's definitely in an interesting spot right now between trying to not be a mid-carder, but he's not there with they're not putting him up there with the Punks and the Romans and the Seth Rollins right now.
Yeah. Well, Mike, according to my little one over there, I think it's time to wrap this thing up. So another fun episode here of Exports Live brought to you by C&B Linen. We'll be back on Thursday.
Yes.
Hopefully our playoff and postseason pictures
should be complete.
Just complete at that point. So for Michael Marks, I'm AJ Good. We'll see you guys on Thursday.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.